Okay, hello. Thank you so much for those of you who did this assignment. Here's what we're going to do. If you did the assignment and you listen all the way to the end of this for direction, then you are going to get a 100, even if you missed some. If you didn't do the assignment, then you have to have a 0 because now you're seeing the answers. Okay, so please do the assignments when they're due. That will help everybody. Okay, if that's a problem, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh no, I didn't do this, or maybe you did it and you didn't turn it in, then you need to talk to me separately. But we got to move quickly through this. So everybody got everything on the first page correct, if I'm not mistaken. You can double check, okay? Except for number 4. Some of you put A for number 4. Let's talk about why. I know where you were going with your wrong answer here. You were like, well, this should be in quotation marks. This is kind of like a sort of a special expression. And you might have been thinking about page 331 at the top, or I sort of didn't go over this very carefully in my teaching of it, and so if you didn't read this, you might not have known. So let's just go through this. That's why you're just getting a 100, learning something new right now in this video. Words used in a special sense do need to have quotation marks around them. And so you were thinking that, loaded, that's being used in a special sense because it's kind of this extremely informal language and therefore would need to be in quotations. However, just listen to this. Occasionally it is permissible to use quotation marks to indicate that a word is used in a special sense. It's better to just revise the sentence and clarify the meaning. So you're always, you've got to train your mind here as juniors and seniors. The name of the game in English and in college writing is formal. Okay, and so you're not going to, especially the content here of this sentence, we've got talking about the Elizabethans, a time period, and their social habits, right? And so we don't want to use words like, oh, they're so loaded that they dine. Okay, so yes, you were right if you're thinking, well, there would be quotation marks around that, but if you look at that sort of the whole rule on page 331, what you would want to do instead is reword it. Wealthy Elizabethans. Now we don't need the quotation marks because we've taken this informal language right out of our piece, okay? You can read that blurb some more for yourself, but look at the second example where it says acceptable and better. There's 2 examples of acceptable and better. The second one really speaks to this. The exhausted college student felt like an, quote, airhead, end quote, after a late night of studying. Instead, it would be better to say the college student was mentally exhausted after the late night, okay? So it's kind of just a way to train your mind. I know that we like to think, speak in casual, but when we think about writing, we've got to become a little more formal in our writing outside of our emails and our texts, right? Okay, then on the next page, I think everybody got the top part. No. I am wrong. The top part is what we need to focus on if I could get us to be able to see this. Yeah, this one right here threw some of you off. This guy, let me see, can we, the guest at the water performance shouts something. He shouts, my, look at the actor riding the dolphin. Okay, the fact that it says my kind of indicates exclamation, and also the fact that he shouts. Sorry about all this. I'm not doing a good job with this technology, am I? But anyway, so let's just look at the correct answer. We've got, quote, my, comma, quote, shouted the guest at the water performance. That shouting indicates an exclamatory sentence as well. Look at the actor riding on the dolphin, exclamation point, quotation. It's an exclamation, okay? That's kind of tough. Like, it's almost the interpretation of the reader, or the interpretation of the original writer, so it's hard to know. That's why the punctuation is in there. They tried to give you little hints like shouted and my to help you know it's an exclamatory sentence. The main point is that you know how to do it in your own writing, which even those of you who missed it might have known to do it in your own writing because you would know what your intention was for that quotation. Okay, and then on the bottom, the only one that people were missing, if I remember correctly, is this one, letter B for number 8. And here's the deal. You missed a teeny tiny little single quotation mark right here because this whole entire sentence is being asked by the servant, but the servant in his question is quoting the count to the person. So it says, did you hear the count ask, single quote, and when did you eat? Question mark, single quote, double quote. See that? So like, and the question mark is inside both the single quote and the double quote, because this quote in here is a question, and then the whole entire quote by the servant is also a question, so it's all enclosed. So that was missing there. All right, now here are the instructions for you. If you got to the end of this and listened to listen to this feedback on it, I will give you a 100 whether you missed a couple or not. If you will email me and tell me, let's see, tell me your favorite breakfast food. Okay, that just is going to be something ridiculous that will help me understand that you did indeed go back and listen to the feedback, and you did the assignment, and then I can just give you your 100. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for your kind attention. Bye.